Hi, good evening, viewers. I'm grateful that you have been watching my videos. And if it is your first time here, please subscribe to my channel so that we continue moving together. Today, I will talk to women or parents, the mothers and the fathers of teenagers, because I have identified a problem between the parent and the teenagers. And in the next video, I will talk to the teenagers themselves. But today, I would want to talk to the parent because there has been a problem between the teenagers and parent now. And it's a big problem because most teenagers, when I speak to them, they tell me the parent don't understand them, don't want to hear, and don't want to reason with them. And so they say they do what they want because there is no advice, no anything they receive from the parent. And also I've spoken to some parents and they are complaining the same, that their children, they are not cooperative, they don't want to be told, and they are very unreasonable and sometimes reserved. But what I've seen here, this fight is coming in because we are not understanding each other. When we were growing up, especially those people who are 50s and over, the way we were brought up is not the same way things are happening because we didn't have much exposure. We can say there was not much in the internet, not much in the TV. Actually, there was no internet. And if there was, we were not exposed to it. So growing up was easier for us. But now our children are too much exposed to too much information because this internet is giving them a lot of information. And this information can either transform you or even just inform you. And sometimes it's dangerous, sometimes it's good information, but sometimes also can be very dangerous. And that is why I can see that our children are too much exposed, and this exposure is giving them misunderstanding between the parent and themselves because they expect some things from the parent don't understand or don't know that their teens are expecting anything from them, and not material things but even to advise them. And because the parent says they don't listen, they don't understand. Now the teen, they say that the parent, they don't care and they don't listen to them. If we agree, all of us, there is a misunderstanding here and there is a problem here, and this problem need to be solved before it is too late. When you see your teen is reserved and you're not in communication, so you don't understand him, you don't even know what he is doing. Some of them, they are not even going to school, they just want to be indoors. Be very careful because you don't know what that person is doing indoors. And so as a parent, swallow the pride and see how you can communicate to the teenager when he is like that, when they are rocking themselves, whether she or he, and they are not communicating, something is wrong somewhere. And my advice is find a way out of understanding each other. Find a way out how you are going to communicate with him or her, because the more he continue being reserved, the more he continue rocking himself up, the more things are getting worse. Because what is happening is that when they don't communicate with you, they'll need information, and this most of the information they are getting through the internet. And these teachers in the internet, there might be not very good teachers. So if you're not discussing with your teenager, they are getting a lot of information from the internet because everything they believe in Google. Excuse me. I also do Google so many things and I get many information from Google, but not all information are good. So we have to find a way of communicating with them. We have to find a way that we are going to help them, because what is happening, they are just being reserved, and when they get reserved, they just lock themselves inside. The people who don't, the teenagers who are not rocking themselves out, they are getting out and go. Maybe they go for a week, they are not coming back, they go for days, and they will tell you that they have been with their friends. But what have they been doing with their friends? Have you tried to find out Which kind of friends does he have? Or even there are some parents who are doing this. When your teenager comes in late, you tend to tell them, go back where you are. When you tell them to go back, where are you telling them to go back? Where you are telling them to go back, they are being waited for. There are some friends who are waiting for them. And that is why you see our teenagers are exposed to even very dangerous games, because when we don't talk to them, when we tell them to go back, there are some people there who are ready to exploit them, who are ready to show them a way out, who are ready to introduce them to money making, black market money making. There are so many people out there. That is why they are even introduced to drugs. That's why you find the teenagers being caught selling drugs and all these kind of things. Some of them even they don't know that they are transporting drugs, because they are just preyed, and they are tricked, and they don't know. Sometimes they are even sent out of the country, and then you find out he get into the police cells in a foreign country, and sometimes even they get jailed. Why? Because they were looking for company, they were looking for love, and we couldn't give them. So let us parents, let us think how we can cope with our teens. Don't get tired of them. Don't say, no, I can't do it, I'm a parent, I can't go down. Yes, I'm not saying you go down. I'm just saying, look for a way you can communicate with your teen so that you understand each other. Let him talk to you, even if sometimes they might talk nonsense. Let him talk the nonsense he has, and that is how you are going to find a way of talking to them. But if they start talking and you don't want them to talk, you stop them even in the middle of the communication, and you tell them that they are talking nonsense. That is where the problems is coming in, because most of the teenagers I've spoken to, they say the parent don't want to communicate to them, and when they start communication, the parent just stop it, and they say, no, I'm not communicating with you, you are talking nonsense and all this kind of thing. What my advice is, please let them talk to you. Whatever nonsense you feel they are talking, it might be something good afterwards, because that person is opening up. Even if maybe he is just complaining, please give yourself time. Let them complain until they are able to communicate with you, because once they are able to communicate with you, then you are able to advise them. But if you have no time for them, if you don't want them to communicate, and before even they finish you shut them up, that is where the problem is. That is why they are locking themselves in, and even some are killing themselves, and without knowing, you just find that he has had enough. But you ask yourself, what have I done? I've been paying the school fees, I've provided food, I've provided the clothing and all this, and accommodation. That's not all. Our children are getting lonely very easily and they need our support. They need us. They need us to talk to them. But what is happening if a parent is educating your child, you have taken them to very good schools, very good university, you think that's all, simply because you are paying a lot of money. But that's not all. Your child may be number one in school. Your child may be getting A's. Your teen might be getting first class degree. But that is not helping them. And that is why you see even the people who have already done university, they are still no different than the children who are still in college or in school, because they all feel rejected. The society don't need them. The other people, the peer group also is worse. And when they enter into the peer group, it gets even worse, because they think that is where the love is. But I can say this is the problem. If we are losing them, we are losing them because we don't want to communicate with them. We know that the parent, you think your child is too much and he is bringing a lot of nonsense, and you want him to go. If you tell him to move out, if you cannot handle him, who is going to handle him? If you tell your child that you want him out of your house, who is going to handle him? Let him get out of your house, but you have a very good communication, because even when he is out there, he need to call you and he need your support, We all know we need each other. Even our children really need us. So telling him to get out, or telling them to get out, so that he get out of your eyes or your face, so that you don't see when they come late, when they are drunk and all these kind of things are going to get worse. So before you tell them to move out, could you find a way of communication? Because communication is a medicine. When you communicate with them, you'll come to understand them. I try to communicate to many of them, but all what they tells me is that, okay, I can speak to you, you are listening to me, but my parents don't listen to me. They don't care what I say. Yeah, parent, please try to change. The next video, I'll talk to the teenager themselves. I'll try to let them understand what the parent goes through, because the parent is looking for funds to maintain them, is looking for funds to education, and sometimes the parents are very depressed, and so that's why sometimes they don't have time for what they call nonsense. What I'm trying to say, even if it's nonsense, parent, let's try to be patient with our children, because if you don't correct them, who will? If yourself you cannot cope with them, who will? So even if you tell them to move out, simply because you can't cope with them, where are they going? Wherever they are going, even if they go for the rental, whatever, they will not cope with the society, because if the children cannot cope at home, they are not going to cope with the society. So it's very important you cope with your child. You are the only person who can be patient with your child before he go out to the society, because if he go out to the society and he can't cope with the parent, I don't think he will be able to cope with other people. It will be very hard and very difficult. So parents, if you can agree with me, let us find a way of you communicating with our children. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. I would again urge you to subscribe to my channel so that we move together, and I'm grateful that you have been listening to me. God bless you. Thank you.